First contact, the arrival. The night sky above the Atacama Desert shimmered with countless stars, a celestial tapestry unmarred by light pollution. Dr. Elara Chen stood outside the ALNA observatory, her eyes fixed on the heavens. A cool breeze ruffled her short black hair as she absently fiddled with the pendant around her neck, a gift from her late mentor. Dr. Chen. A voice crackled through her earpiece, shattering the tranquil moment. You need to see this. Now. Elara sprinted back to the control room, her heart racing. Inside, a team of astronomers huddled around a bank of monitors, their faces illuminated by the blue glow of screens. What is it, Dr. Reyes? Elara asked, slightly out of breath. The lead astronomer turned to her, his eyes wide with a mixture of excitement and fear. We've detected a signal, and it's not natural. Elara leaned in, studying the readouts. The pattern was unlike anything she'd seen before, too regular to be cosmic background radiation, too complex to be a pulsar. It's a message, she whispered, her voice barely audible. For hours, the team worked feverishly to decode the signal. As the sun began to peek over the horizon, bathing the desert in warm hues, they finally cracked it. Coordinates, Dr. Reyes announced, his voice hoarse from the all-night session. They're sending us coordinates. Elara's mind raced. In all her years as a xenobiologist, she'd dreamed of this moment, first contact, but now that it was here, a chill ran down her spine. Where? She asked. Dr. Reyes pulled up a map on the main screen, middle of the Pacific Ocean, about 500 miles southeast of Hawaii. Within hours, the news spread like wildfire. Governments scrambled to respond, militaries went on high alert, and the public oscillated between excitement and panic. Elara found herself thrust into the spotlight, her expertise suddenly in high demand. 3 days later, she stood on the deck of the U.S. Nimitz, surrounded by a multinational team of scientists, military personnel, and government officials. The coordinates loomed closer with each passing minute. Dr. Chen, a gruff voice called out. She turned to see Admiral Zhao, his weathered face creased with concern. Any predictions on what we might encounter? Elara shook her head. Admiral, we're in uncharted territory. All I can say is that whatever, or whoever, sent that signal, they're far more advanced than us. The precision of the transmission alone suggests technology centuries beyond our own. The Admiral nodded grimly. Let's hope they're friendly then. As if on cue, a low hum filled the air. The sea began to churn, frothing and bubbling as if boiling from below. Elara gripped the railing, her knuckles white. My God, someone whispered behind her. A massive shape emerged from the depths, water cascading off its sleek, iridescent surface. It wasn't a submarine or any known sea creature. As it rose higher, Elara's breath caught in her throat. It was a spacecraft. The vessel hovered above the waves, easily dwarfing the aircraft carrier. Its design defied conventional aerodynamics, all smooth curves and impossible angles that seemed to bend the light around it. For several tense minutes, nothing happened. The ship simply hung there, silent and inscrutable. Then, without warning, a beam of soft, blue light emanated from its underside, touching down on the carrier's deck. Hold your fire. Admiral Zhao bellowed as nervous soldiers raised their weapons. Within the beam, a figure began to materialize. Elara stepped forward, her heart pounding. As the light faded, she found herself face to face with humanity's first alien visitor. The being before her was humanoid, but unmistakably alien. Standing nearly 7 feet tall, its life frame was covered in shimmering, scale-like skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Large, almond-shaped eyes regarded Elara with an intelligence that made her shiver. Greetings, children of Earth, the alien spoke, its voice resonating in Elara's mind rather than her ears. We are the Zarthene, and we have traveled far to meet you. Elara swallowed hard, acutely aware that she was living through the most significant moment in human history. With a deep breath, she stepped forward. On behalf of humanity, welcome to Earth, she said, her voice steadier than she felt. I am Dr. Elara Chen, xenobiologist. We have many questions for you. The Zarthine's mouth, if it could be called that, curved into what Elara hoped was a smile. And we have answers, Dr. Chen. But first, we bring an invitation. Earth stands on the precipice of a new era. The galaxy awaits, and we are here to guide you into cosmic citizenship. As the alien spoke, more of its kind emerged from the ship, each carrying strange devices and containers. The Zarthine turned to Admiral Zao. With your permission, we would like to establish a temporary embassy on your vessel. There is much to discuss. The Admiral looked to Elara, who nodded almost imperceptibly. Permission granted, he said, his voice tight with tension. Over the next few hours, the carrier's deck was transformed into an impromptu alien encampment. The Zarthine set up structures that seemed to defy physics, unfolding from tiny cubes into spacious, translucent domes. Elara found herself in one such structure, surrounded by holographic displays showing star maps and alien worlds. The lead Zarthine, who had introduced itself as Sios, stood before her. Dr. Chen, Sios said, its multifaceted eyes fixed on her. Your species stands at a crossroads. We offer you membership in the Galactic Concordat, an alliance of civilizations spanning this arm of the Milky Way. But the choice must be unanimous. Earth must speak with one voice. Elara's mind reeled at the implications. But our world is divided, she said. We have nations, factions, conflicting ideologies. How can we possibly come to an unanimous decision? Silos made a gesture that might have been a shrug. That is your challenge to overcome. We offer knowledge, technology, and a place among the stars, but we cannot force unity upon you. You have one planetary rotation to begin your deliberations. We will await your response. As Silos turned to leave, Elara called out, Wait, you said you have answers. What about our questions? The mysteries of the universe, the nature of your species, the technologies you possess. The alien paused, its skin rippling with patterns of light. All will be revealed in time, Dr. Chen. But first, humanity must decide if it is ready to take its place in the greater cosmos. The knowledge we offer comes with great responsibility. Are you prepared to wield it wisely? With that, Alos glided away, leaving Elara alone with her thoughts. She looked out through the translucent walls of the alien structure, watching as helicopters circled the carrier and newsboats jockeyed for position in the distance. The world was about to change irrevocably, and she was at the center of it all. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and purples, Elara took a deep breath. She had work to do. Humanity's future among the stars hung in the balance, and she was determined to ensure they made the right choice. Little did she know the true nature of the Zarthine's offer, and the challenges that lay ahead, were far more complex and dangerous than she could have imagined. As night fell over the Pacific, the first chapter in humanity's cosmic adventure was just beginning, and Elara Chen would play a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of her species. The Galactic Embassy. The world held its breath as news of the alien arrivals spread. Within hours of the Zarthine's appearance, the United Nations convened an emergency session. Dr. Elara Chen found herself thrust into the global spotlight, addressing world leaders via holographic projection from the deck of the USS Nimitz. Ladies and gentlemen, Elara began, her voice echoing through the UN chamber. The offer before us is unprecedented. The Zarthine propose Earth's membership in a galactic alliance they call the Concordat. They promise advanced technology, interstellar travel, and answers to questions we've pondered for millennia. She paused, surveying the faces of presidents, prime ministers, and diplomats. However, their condition is clear. Earth must speak with one voice. We have to reach a unanimous decision. The chamber erupted into a cacophony of voices. Elara watched as alliances formed and fractured in real time. Some nations eagerly embraced the opportunity, while others voiced skepticism and fear. And what guarantee do we have that these aliens come in peace? The Russian representative's voice cut through the clamor. How do we know this isn't the prelude to an invasion? Ilara took a deep breath. The Zarthene have made no aggressive moves. Their technology far surpasses ours. If conquest was their goal, they could have achieved it already. Perhaps, the Chinese delegate interjected, but joining this concordat could mean surrendering our sovereignty. Are we ready for that? As the debate raged on, Ilara felt a presence behind her. She turned to see Xylos, the Zarthene leader, observing the proceedings with inscrutable eyes. Your species fears what it does not understand, Xylos said, its thoughts resonating in Ilara's mind. Yet it is this very quality, this curiosity tempered by caution, that makes humanity unique. Ilara nodded. We've spent our history divided. Asking us to unite overnight is challenging. Xylos's skin shimmered with patterns of light. Then perhaps a demonstration is in order. Before Ilara could ask what the alien meant, Xylos stepped forward, its form suddenly visible to the UN assembly. A hush fell over the chamber. Esteemed leaders of Earth, Xylos began, its mental voice somehow reaching every mind in the room. We understand your concerns. Allow us to offer a glimpse of what awaits should you choose to join the concordat. With a gesture, Xylos conjured a holographic display that filled the chamber. Suddenly, the UN delegates found themselves surrounded by visions of alien worlds, lush forests with trees that touched the sky, cities that floated among the clouds, and creatures of impossible beauty and complexity. These are but a few of the worlds that comprise our alliance, Xylos explained, each unique, yet united in pursuit of knowledge and harmony. The display shifted, showing advanced technologies, clean energy sources that could power entire continents, medical devices that could cure diseases thought incurable, and faster-than-light ships that could traverse the galaxy in days. As the visions faded, Xylos continued, we offer you not just technology, but a place among the stars. A chance to explore, to learn, to grow beyond the confines of your world. But the choice must be yours, all of yours. With that, the alien's projection vanished, leaving the chamber in stunned silence. Ilara watched as the world leaders murmured among themselves, that earlier hostility replaced by a mix of awe and contemplation. Over the next few days, Earth became a hive of activity. The Zarthene, true to their word, established embassies in major cities across the globe. Ilara found herself constantly on the move, shuttling between these alien enclaves and government facilities, serving as humanity's primary intermediary with their cosmic visitors. In New York, she walked through a Zarthene structure that seemed to defy physics, its interior far larger than its exterior suggested. How is this possible? She asked her alien guide, a Zarthene called Nara. Nora's skin rippled with amusement. Your scientists are on the verge of understanding. What you call string theory is but the first step towards comprehending the malleable nature of space-time. In Beijing, Ilara watched as Zarthene healers demonstrated medical techniques that bordered on miraculous, regenerating severed limbs and curing terminal illnesses in minutes. This is incredible, she breathed, watching a child walk for the first time after a life-threatening accident. It is but a fraction of what we can offer, her Zarthene companion replied. Imagine a world without disease, without physical limitation. Yet, as the wonders unfolded, Ilara couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. The Zarthene were sharing freely, yes, but always with a hint of something held back. There were rooms in their embassies that remained off-limits, conversations that fell silent when she approached. Late one night, as she pored over reports in her temporary office at the UN, Ilara received an unexpected visitor. Admiral Zhao entered, his face grave. Dr. Chen, he said, closing the door behind him. We need to talk. Ilara gestured for him to sit. What's wrong, Admiral? Zhao leaned forward, his voice low. There's something off about all this. My intelligence team has been monitoring Zarthene communications. We can't decode most of it, but the patterns, they're consistent with military operations, not diplomatic missions. Ilara felt her heart rate quicken. Are you suggesting the Zarthene are lying to us? I'm suggesting we be cautious, Jay replied. History is full of advanced civilizations offering gifts to those they deem primitive. It rarely ends well for the recipients. As if on cue, Ilara's phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number simply read, "The truth is hidden in plain sight. Meet me at the old library, midnight." Ilara showed the message to Zayo, who frowned. It could be a trap. Or it could be the answers we need, Ilara countered. I have to go. As the clock struck midnight, Ilara found herself outside a derelict library, her heart pounding. A figure emerged from the shadows, a young woman with wild eyes and disheveled hair. Dr. Chen, the woman said, her voice trembling. I'm Dr. Yara Patel. I was part of the team studying Zarthene technology in London. What I found, it changes everything. Yara pulled out a data drive. The Zarthene aren't here to help us join some galactic club. They're harvesting us. Harvesting, Ilara echoed, her blood running cold. Our creativity, our unpredictability, it's unique in the galaxy. They want to study us, to extract what makes us human. The Concordat is just a pretty cage. As Yara spoke, a high-pitched whine filled the air. A Zarthene ship materialized above them, bathing the street in eerie blue light. They're here, Yara gasped. Whatever you do, don't let them. A beam of energy lanced down, engulfing Yara. When it faded, she was gone, leaving only the data drive at Ilara's feet. As Ilara scooped up the drive, her mind raced. The wonders she'd witnessed, the promise of a brighter future, was it all a lie? And if so, how could she convince a world enamored with alien marvels that they were walking into a trap? With sirens blaring in the distance and the Zarthene ship hovering ominously overhead, Ilara realized the true challenge was just beginning. Humanity's future hung in the balance, and she was now at the center of a cosmic conspiracy that threatened everything she held dear. Hidden agendas. Ilara's heart pounded as she raced through the dimly lit streets, the data drive clutched tightly in her hand. The whine of the Zarthene ship faded into the distance, but she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Her mind reeled from Dr. Patel's revelation, the Concordat a cage, the Zarthene harvesters of human potential. She needed a safe place to examine the drive's contents. Pulling out her phone, she dialed a familiar number. Jake, it's Ilara. I need your help. No questions asked. An hour later, she found herself in a cluttered basement lab at MIT. Dr. Jake Rodriguez, her old college roommate, and now a leading computer scientist, eyed her with concern. Elle, you look like you've seen a ghost. What's going on? Ilara handed him the drive. I need you to crack this, and we need to make sure we're not being monitored. Jake's eyebrows shot up, but true to his word, he asked no questions. His fingers flew over the keyboard, bypassing firewalls and decryption protocols with ease. This is incredible, he muttered as data flooded his screens, and terrifying. The drive contained a treasure trove of classified Zarthene communications, technical schematics, and mission logs. As they pored over the information, a chilling picture emerged. The Concordat isn't a coalition of alien races, Ilara breathed. It's a network of harvested species, each one stripped of its unique traits and assimilated into the Zarthene collective. Jake nodded grimly. And humanity is next on the menu. But why us? What makes us so special? Ilara's eyes widened as she read a particular file. Our creativity, our adaptability. The Zarthene call it the chaos factor. They've never encountered a species so unpredictable, so innovative. They want to harness it, use it to break through some kind of evolutionary plateau they've reached. So much for benevolent aliens, Jake muttered. As the full scope of the Zarthene's plan became clear, Ilara felt a weight settle on her shoulders. They had to warn the world, but who would believe them? The Zarthene had dazzled humanity with technological marvels and promises of cosmic citizenship. How could they fight against that? "We need proof," Ilara said, determination hardening her voice. "Irrefutable evidence that the world can't ignore." Jake leaned back, running a hand through his disheveled hair. "I might have an idea, but it's risky as hell." Over the next few hours, they hatched a plan. Jake would create a virus, a digital chameleon capable of infiltrating Zarthene systems. Once inside, it would gather evidence and broadcast it to every screen on Earth. But to deploy it, they'd need access to a Zarthene ship. As dawn broke, Ilara prepared to leave. "Jake, if this goes wrong..." He cut her off with a hug. "It won't. You're the stubbornest person I know, Elle. If anyone can save the world, it's you." With the virus stored on a specially designed chip, Ilara made her way to the New York Zarthene embassy. Her status as Earth's primary liaison granted her access, but her palms were slick with sweat as she passed through alien security measures. Inside, she was greeted by Nara, the Zarthene she'd come to know over the past weeks. "Dr. Chen, your presence honors us. How may we assist you today?" Ilara forced a smile. "Actually, I was hoping for a tour of one of your ships. For the official Earth records, you understand." Nora's skin rippled with what Ilara now recognized as suspicion. "Of course, though I must confess, your timing is curious." As they boarded a sleek shuttle bound for the Zarthene mothership in orbit, Ilara's mind raced. Had they seen through her ruse? Was she walking into a trap? The mothership was a marvel of engineering, a city-sized structure of impossible geometries and pulsing energy conduits. Under different circumstances, Ilara would have been awestruck. Now, each step felt like a dance on the edge of a knife. "And this," Nara said, gesturing to a massive chamber filled with swirling, multicolored mists, "is the heart of our ship. The quantum entanglement drive that allows us to traverse the stars." Ilara saw her chance. As she leaned in to examine a control panel, she discreetly inserted Jake's chip into an access port. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, a soft chime indicated a successful connection. Nara tilted its head, puzzlement rippling across its features. "That's odd. A minor fluctuation in the quantum field. Nothing to worry about, I'm sure." But Ilara could see the growing agitation in the alien's movements. She had to buy more time. "Fascinating," she said, forcing enthusiasm into her voice. "Could you explain how the drive interfaces with the ship's other systems?" As Nora launched into a technical explanation, alarms began to blare throughout the ship. Screens flickered to life, displaying classified Zarthene data for all to see. "What is the meaning of this?" Nora demanded, its mental voice sharp with anger. Ilara backed away, her heart racing. "The truth, Nora. Humanity deserves to know the truth." But before Nora could respond, a familiar voice cut through the chaos. "Dr. Chen, this way." Admiral Zhao stood at the far end of the chamber, flanked by a team of Special Forces operators. "How have they gotten here?" The virus did more than just broadcast data, Zhao explained as they raced through the ship's corridors. It temporarily disabled their security systems. "We've been waiting for an opening like this." As they fought their way to an escape pod, Ilara saw the fruits of their labor. Throughout the ship, humans and Zarthene alike stared at screens, displaying the aliens' true agenda. The carefully crafted illusion of benevolence was shattering before their eyes. They barely made it to the escape pod, jettisoning away from the mothership as Zarthene forces closed in. As they plummeted towards Earth, Ilara watched the Zarthene ship grow smaller, a mix of relief and dread washing over her. "It's not over," she said, turning to Zhao. "We've exposed their lies, but now we face an enemy with vastly superior technology and a grudge." Zhao nodded grimly. "Then it's a good thing we humans are known for our resourcefulness. Welcome to the Resistance, Dr. Chen." As the escape pods streaked through the atmosphere, Ilara knew that the real battle was just beginning. They had won the first skirmish in a war for humanity's future, but the Zarthene would not give up easily. Earth would need every ounce of the creativity and adaptability that made it unique to survive the coming storm. The chaos factor that had drawn the Zarthene to Earth would now be turned against them, and Ilara, the xenobiologist who had dreamed of alien contact, found herself at the forefront of a fight to preserve what it truly meant to be human. The human element. The weeks following the exposure of the Zarthene's true agenda were chaos incarnate. Earth's unified front shattered, replaced by a cacophony of fear, anger, and confusion. Some nations called for immediate military action, while others advocated for continued diplomacy. Conspiracy theories ran rampant, and protests erupted in cities worldwide. Amidst the turmoil, Ilara found herself at the center of a hastily assembled task force dubbed Project Prometheus. Their mission: to understand and counteract Zarthene technology while developing strategies to protect Earth. In a repurposed bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Ilara stood before a diverse team of Earth's brightest minds, scientists, strategists, and military personnel from across the globe. The Zarthene underestimated us, Ilara began, her voice echoing in the cavernous war room. They saw our creativity, our chaos factor, as something to be harvested, but it's more than that. It's our greatest weapon. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a quantum physicist from Japan, raised her hand. But how do we weaponize unpredictability against a technologically superior foe? Before Ilara could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Admiral Zao burst into the room, his face grim. "We've got incoming," he announced. "Multiple Zarthene ships entering the atmosphere. They're targeting major cities." The room erupted into frantic activity. As screens lit up with global defense strategies, Ilara felt a moment of doubt. How could they hope to stand against such advanced technology? But then she saw it, a flicker of an idea in the chaos around her. Scientists from different disciplines were already collaborating, bouncing ideas off each other at a dizzying pace. Military strategists were adapting tactics on the fly, incorporating scientific theories into battle plans. "This is it," Ilara breathed. "This is our edge." She raised her voice above the din. "Everyone, listen. We don't need to match their technology. We need to think in ways they can't predict. Dr. Tanaka, can we use quantum entanglement to disrupt their communications?" Yuki's eyes widened. "Theoretically, yes, but we'd need a way to interface with their tech," Jake Rodriguez interjected, appearing on a nearby screen. "I can modify the virus we used before, if we can get it into their systems again." Ideas flew back and forth, each one building on the last. Within hours, a plan began to take shape. Audacious, borderline insane, but undeniably human. As Zarthene ships descended on major cities, they encountered not just military resistance, but a bewildering array of human ingenuity. In Tokyo, a hastily assembled network of quantum transmitters scrambled Zarthene communications, causing their precise formations to dissolve into chaos. In Rio de Janeiro, a team of hackers led by Jake deployed an adapted virus that turned the aliens' own ships against them, locking weapon systems and scrambling navigation. And in New York, where the Zarthene focused their main assault, they faced the full brunt of humanity's creative fury. Street artists and engineers collaborated to create holographic projections that confused Zarthene sensors. Construction workers and physicists worked together to rapidly assemble gravitational disruptors that played havoc with alien propulsion systems. Ilara, coordinating efforts from the command center, watched in awe as humanity's fractious nature became its greatest strength. The very unpredictability that the Zarthene sought to harvest was now their undoing. But the aliens were far from defeated. As Earth celebrated its first victories, a massive Zarthene mothership entered orbit. Sios's voice boomed across global communications channels. "Humans," the alien leader intoned, its mental voice tinged with a mixture of anger and grudging respect. "You have proven more resilient than anticipated, but do not think you have won. We offer you one last chance. Surrender now, join the Concordat willingly, and we will spare your world from annihilation." Silence fell across the command center. All eyes turned to Ilara. Taking a deep breath, she stepped up to the communications array. "Silos," she began, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "You came to Earth seeking to harvest our chaos factor, but you fundamentally misunderstood its nature. Our unpredictability, our creativity, it's not a resource to be extracted, it's who we are." She paused, looking around at the diverse faces of her team, each one a testament to human potential. "We don't need to join your Concordat to reach the stars. We'll forge our own path as we always have. Earth stands united, not in uniformity, but in our beautiful chaotic diversity." Silos' response was cold. "Then you have sealed your fate." The mothership's weapon systems powered up, a dazzling display of destructive potential that made Earth's mightiest weapons look like firecrackers in comparison. But Ilara smiled. "Admiral Zao, now." Across the globe, hidden transmitters activated. The quantum entanglement device that Dr. Tanaka had theorized sprang to life, creating a field that enveloped the Earth. The Zarthene weapons fired, and nothing happened. "What is this?" Silas demanded, genuine confusion in its mental voice. "A quantum shield," Ilara explained, unable to keep the pride from her voice. "Powered by the collective belief of billions of humans. You wanted to harvest our potential, Silos. Well, here it is." The shield shimmered, an aurora of human will made manifest. The Zarthene weapons were not just blocked. They were absorbed, that energy redirected and dissipated harmlessly. As the alien mothership hung impotently in orbit, Ilara felt a shift in the air. The tide had turned. Humanity had faced its greatest threat and emerged stronger, more united than ever before. But she knew this was just the beginning. The Zarthene would be back, and there were undoubtedly other threats lurking in the cosmic dark. Yet, for the first time since this crisis began, Ilara felt hope, not just for survival, but for a future where humanity would take its place among the stars on its own terms. As celebrations erupted around her, Ilara's mind was already racing ahead. They had unlocked new potentials, new understandings of the universe. What other wonders might they discover? The stars beckoned, and humanity, in all its beautiful chaos, was ready to answer the call. Galactic showdown. The quantum shield held, a shimmering testament to human ingenuity and willpower. But Ilara knew better than to celebrate prematurely. The Zarthene mothership loomed in orbit, a silent threat that cast a shadow over Earth's momentary victory. In the depths of the Prometheus bunker, Ilara gathered her team. "We've bought ourselves time," she said, her voice echoing in the tense silence. "But we need a permanent solution, ideas." Dr. Tanaka stepped forward, her usually calm demeanor charged with nervous energy. "The quantum shield is incredible, but it's not sustainable. We're burning through power at an alarming rate." Jake's face appeared on a nearby screen, his expression grim. "And my teams detected anomalies in the Zarthene's communications. They're adapting, probing for weaknesses." Admiral Zao nodded solemnly. "We need to take the fight to them. End this once and for all." As the team debated strategies, Ilara's mind raced. There had to be a solution, a way to turn the Zarthene's own nature against them. Suddenly, a wild idea struck her. "Wait," she said, silencing the room. "What if we could use their own technology to defeat them?" All eyes turned to her as she explained her audacious plan. It was risky, borderline insane, but it just might work. As the details were hammered out, a sense of purpose filled the room. This was humanity's endgame. Over the next 48 hours, the world held its breath. The Zarthene mothership remained in orbit, occasionally firing weapons that dissipated harmlessly against the quantum shield. But the strain was showing, power grids flickered, and the shield's glow dimmed perceptibly. Finally, everything was in place. Ilara stood on the launch pad, clad in a sleek spacesuit of human design, augmented with retrofitted Xar-themed tech. Beside her, a small team of Earth's finest, soldiers, scientists, and hackers, prepared for the most important mission in human history. Admiral Zhao approached, his face a mask of concern. "Dr. Chen, are you sure about this? It's practically a suicide mission." Ilara managed a smile. "Sometimes the most unpredictable move is the one your opponent least expects. We're counting on that." As their ship, a hybrid of human and salvaged Xar-themed technology, lifted off, Ilara felt the weight of billions of lives on her shoulders. The plan was simple in concept, insanely complex in execution. Infiltrate the Xar-themed mothership, upload a modified version of Jake's virus, and turn the aliens' own harvesting technology against them. The journey to the mothership was tense, silent. As they approached, Ilara activated the cloaking technology they'd reverse-engineered. "Remember," she said to her team, "we only get one shot at this." They docked with the mothership, the hybrid tech allowing them to bypass the alien security systems. As they moved through the vast ship, Ilara was struck by its cold efficiency. This was a civilization that had forgotten the value of chaos, of creativity. They reached the central core, a massive chamber pulsing with energy. At its center floated a crystalline structure, the heart of the Xar-theme's harvesting technology. "Now Jake," Ilara whispered into her comm. Back on Earth, Jake initiated the upload. The crystal structure pulsed, and for a moment, nothing happened. Then, alarms blared throughout the ship. Silas's voice boomed around them, tinged with rage and fear. "What have you done, humans?" Ilara stepped forward, facing the alien leader as it materialized before them. "We're giving you a taste of your own medicine, Silos. Your harvesting technology is now connected to every human mind on Earth. You wanted our chaos. Well, now you've got it." The ship shuddered as billions of human thoughts, dreams, and ideas flooded its systems. The Xar-theme, so long insulated from true creativity, were overwhelmed. Silos writhed, its form flickering. "Stop this, it's too much." But Ilara stood firm. "This is who we are, Silos. Unpredictable, creative, chaotic. You can't harvest it, you can't control it, but you can learn from it." As the Xar-theme struggled to process the influx of human consciousness, something unexpected happened. The ship's technology began to evolve, to change in ways even Ilara hadn't anticipated. New forms of energy crackled into existence, and impossible structures grew and shifted throughout the vessel. Silos's form stabilized, its eyes wide with wonder. This is beyond anything we imagined. We sought to harvest your potential, but in doing so, we've unlocked our own." The alarms faded, replaced by a harmonious hum. The Xar-theme mothership, once a symbol of cold efficiency, now pulsed with vibrant, creative energy. Ilara approached Silos, her voice firm but not unkind. "Now do you understand? True growth doesn't come from harvesting others. It comes from collaboration, from the free exchange of ideas." Silos bowed its head. "We have much to learn, it seems. Perhaps it is we who should be asking to join you, rather than the other way around." As the tension of battle faded, replaced by the tentative beginnings of true cooperation, Ilara felt a surge of hope. They had faced annihilation and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. The journey back to Earth was filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. How would humanity react to this new reality? As their ship descended through the atmosphere, Ilara saw crowds gathered, their faces turned skyward. She stepped onto Earth's soil, Silos at her side. The world held its breath, watching as human and alien stood together. Ilara took a deep breath and addressed the global audience. "People of Earth, today marks not the end of a war, but the beginning of a new era. We have proven that our greatest strength lies not in weapons or technology, but in our boundless creativity and our capacity for growth. The stars are no longer a distant dream, but a road open before us. As cheers erupted around the world, Ilara knew that the real work was just beginning. There would be challenges ahead, misunderstandings to overcome, and new threats to face. But for the first time, she truly believed that humanity was ready to take its place in the cosmic community. The chaos factor that had nearly led to their destruction was now the key to their ascension. As human and Zarthine minds, linked in a network of shared knowledge and creativity, the boundaries of the possible expanded with each passing moment. Ilara looked up at the stars, no longer distant and unreachable, but a canvas awaiting humanity's unique brush. The greatest adventure in human history was just beginning. A new dawn for humanity. 5 years had passed since the day Ilara Chen stood beside Tylos, heralding a new era for both humanity and the Zarthine. The Earth had changed in ways few could have imagined, transformed by the fusion of human creativity and alien technology. Ilara stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, a massive structure orbiting Earth that served as a hub for interstellar diplomacy and scientific collaboration. Below her, the blue marble of Earth shimmered, crisscrossed by the gleaming lines of space elevators reaching into the sky. "Quite a view, isn't it?" a familiar voice said behind her. Ilara turned to see Admiral Zao, now Earth's ambassador to the reformed Galactic Concordat. Age had softened his features, but his eyes still held the sharp intelligence she remembered. "Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come," Ilara replied, smiling. Indeed, the changes had been profound. The quantum entanglement technology that had saved Earth had been refined, leading to instantaneous communication across vast distances. Cities on Earth now boasted buildings that defied conventional physics, their structures adapting to environmental needs in real time. But perhaps the most significant change was in humanity itself. The global consciousness that had emerged during the final confrontation with the Zarthine had evolved into a network of shared knowledge and creativity. People could now tap into a collective pool of ideas and skills, accelerating innovation at an unprecedented rate. "Dr. Chen, they're ready for you in the council chamber," a young aide interrupted, her holographic form flickering into existence beside them. Ilara nodded, taking a deep breath. Today was a momentous occasion. Earth was about to officially join the reformed Galactic Concordat as a full member. As she entered the vast chamber, Ilara was struck by the diversity of life forms present. Representatives from 100 worlds filled the room, each unique and wondrous in their own right. At the center stood Axylos, who had become a staunch ally and friend over the years. "Delegates of the Concordat," Xylos began, its mental voice resonating through the chamber. "Today, we welcome Earth not as a harvested world, but as equal partners in our cosmic journey." Ilara stepped forward, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. "On behalf of humanity, we are honored to join this assembly of worlds. Our path here was not easy, but it has taught us the value of diversity, of creative chaos, and of working together towards a greater good." As she spoke, Ilara couldn't help but reflect on the journey it had brought them here. The fear and confusion of first contact, the betrayal and conflict that followed, and finally, the hard-won understanding and cooperation that had emerged from the crucible of near destruction. "Humanity brings to the Concordat not just our technology or our resources," she continued, "but our unique perspective. Our ability to find innovative solutions, to think outside established norms, and to dream beyond the possible." The chamber erupted in applause, some audible, others expressed through colorful bioluminescence or telepathic waves of approval. Earth was no longer alone in the cosmos. It was part of a greater community, ready to face the challenges and wonders of the universe together. As the formalities concluded, Ilara found herself approached by a young human Zarthine hybrid, a living symbol of the new era of cooperation. "Dr. Chen," the youth said, eyes shining with excitement. "I'm starting my xenobiology studies next month. Your work inspired me to pursue this field. Do you have any advice?" Ilara smiled, remembering her own early days of wonder and curiosity. Never stop questioning, never stop imagining. The universe is vast and full of mysteries. Our greatest strength is our ability to approach those mysteries with open minds and creative spirits. As she spoke, a commotion near the chamber's entrance caught her attention. A group of delegates was clustered around a holographic display, their expressions a mix of awe and concern. Ilara made her way over, her scientific curiosity piqued. As she reached the group, she saw what had caused the stir. Long-range sensors had detected an anomaly at the edge of the galaxy, a phenomenon unlike anything recorded in the Concordat's vast databases. Sios appeared beside her, its skin rippling with excitement. "It seems the universe has a new challenge for us, Dr. Chen. Are you ready for another adventure?" Ilara felt a familiar thrill run through her, the same feeling she'd had when she first saw the Zarthene ship emerge from the Pacific. But this time, it wasn't tinged with fear. Now, it was pure exhilaration at the prospect of new discoveries. "Always," she replied, her mind already racing with possibilities. Humanity didn't come this far to stop exploring now. As plans were quickly formulated for an expedition to investigate the anomaly, Ilara realized that this was the true gift of humanity's journey to the stars. Not just the technological advancements or the new allies they'd made, but the enduring spirit of exploration and innovation that had been awakened on a global scale. The challenges ahead were unknown, possibly greater than anything they'd faced before, but Ilara knew that whatever the universe had in store, humanity would face it with the same creativity, adaptability, and determination that had brought them to this point. As she looked out at the assembled delegates, a tapestry of life from across the galaxy, Ilara felt a profound sense of hope. The future was unwritten, full of potential and mystery, and humanity, with its beautiful chaos and boundless imagination, was ready to help shape that future. The stars had once seemed so distant, so unreachable. Now, they were a playground for human ingenuity, a canvas for dreams yet to be dreamed. As Harmony Station prepared for its next great expedition, Ilara Chen, once a simple xenobiologist, now a bridge between worlds, smiled at the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. The human adventure was just beginning.